Good evening, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I welcome Mr. Manas Upadhyay, and he will talk about usage of autonomous vehicle in agriculture industry. I now request the speaker to begin.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Manas Upadhyay, and I'm the founder and chief technology officer for Dtown Robotics Private Limited. We are a drone and robotics manufacturer, and we are based in Noida, Uttar Pradesh, with a presence in Uttarakhand as well as in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So for us, we have been a recognized startup in the field of agriculture and defense by Startup Uttarakhand, by NASCOM Foundation, by Agni India, by Ministry of Electronics and IT and Department of Science and Technology. And then we have been actually funded and supported by IIT Roorkee, Ministry of Electronics and IT, and G2J Foundation. So when you talk about who we are, so we are a robotics company working in the design and development of unmanned aerial and ground robots for defense and agricultural applications. Our vision has been to enhance the human-machine interactions, for which we actually design novel robotics and drone products, which actually removes humans from the three different dangerous tasks which happens in the all around navigation. So for us, like it has been majorly to design systems which can actually work in place of humans and in dusty and dull areas, and then eventually they can actually work and provide optimum solutions in terms of increasing the efficiency, efficacy, and the overall curriculum. So the actual mission for Dtown Robotics has been to drive technology advancement, where we actually do research and development for two of our domains, which is into the defense agriculture. So like the company has been working in the forte of Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan, where we actually are a pioneer of next generation robotics and drone technologies. So what actually makes Dtown different from any other company which is actually working in the field is like we are the very first company in India to do it on both the platforms, in the ground platform as well as in the aerial platform. Also, like you will find very majority of the uniqueness in the products which we actually manufacture right now. So all the products which you see right now in the website also and in terms of the presentation also has been proudly made in India. So we right now produce at least 65% of the product in the drone industry and almost 90% of the product in the robotics industry indigenously proudly made in India. It actually helps you to get the overall gist on terms of how we actually develop and deploy these systems in a global scale and eventually how these systems are actually revolutionizing the actual overall material. So in terms of the focus verticals, we have unmanned aerial systems, we have unmanned ground systems. So taking forward in terms of what we actually do in UAVs, so we actually design multi-rotors and fixed-wing UAVs, which are actually getting used in agriculture for the usage of crop monitoring, crop surveillance, crop security, crop spraying, and then the overall efficacy of how to actually get the maximizations in terms of the field where you're actually growing your crops. So majority of the works which we do right now has been actually pushed upon to the defense areas, but we have a certain wing where we actually design these solutions for the agricultural applications. As moving on to the agricultural application part, we also design and work in the design and development of novel artificial intelligence solutions, which actually help us to get it indulged with the product and then eventually provide it as an overall solution. So talking about the products, so the very first product which we actually designed is called DTR Nuno, which is India's first UAV, which is a commercial UAV and a UAV which you can fly license free. So this has been a product which actually provides you with a flight time of 32 minutes and can be actually used in the crops in terms of crop survey, in terms of crop monitoring, in terms of how to actually initialize how you actually right now see your crops. So basically, there has been certain mechanisms which has been actually working upon in terms of realization of these type of mechanisms and algorithms. But yes, DTR Nuno has been actually designed as such that it can actually provide you all these services without a hassle of having a certification. You can actually fly it under the privileged areas of the government of India, and eventually you don't have to actually worry about how the compliances and the actual resolutions can be worked. So it's a very tough machine and has been designed for both the operations, whether you can actually apply it on a sunny day as well as you can actually fly this particular machine in a rainy day also. So it can actually help you in crop mapping, crop servicing, and crop surveying, which I will understand you later where these systems are getting deployed for each application. So in the very first phase, we will be actually learning about all the different products which we have right now in terms of agriculture. And then in the second slides, we will be actually looking upon to the AI implications where we can actually provide the solutions. So the first product was Nano UAV. And then eventually we have a product called Agro, which is India's first 5-liter agricultural spraying drone. So our main aim has been to actually revolutionize the actual way by which the farmers are doing the spray. And as a background, like we were the only company in India who started the anti-locust operations using drones back in the COVID times when that need was very required. So that time, what we realized was ki, like with the use of conventional bigger agricultural drones, there has been a problem that like yes, these systems are not getting efficiently used because these were actually requiring a car in terms of taking it from one place to another, and also the actual propulsion system was hampering somehow the usage in terms of low crop or a baby crop which has just been like sown. So in that particular system, the propulsion was affecting that particular area, and majority of the crop was getting damaged. So in that particular regime, we actually came up with a solution where the size of the system can be actually shortened, and the actual efficacy when you're actually operating the system into a field can be revolutionized and can be maximized. So that is where agricultural drone in terms of agro came into the picture, where you get a capacity of using 5 liters of spray in a single charge, where you can do a charge of up to 15 minutes, and it only requires 5 minutes to do a half an acre of spray. That has been something which we have been taken from the IFCO guidelines, which has been already been provided for the crop spraying of using agricultural drones. And there we actually found a very suitable fit where like we found out like in a single charge you can actually fly the drone for 3 times. In those 3 times you can actually spray in the area of almost 1.5 acres, and that too at a very smaller particular price. So we are proud to share that like we are India's lowest and the economical agriculture drone company, where like the actual price range after subsidy for a kisan is very less. So these systems can be actually deployed into their own ecosystem where like they want to actually do agricultural spraying. So agriculture sprayers and the agricultural drones has been into the market from a very good long time, and now it's been more about what else we can do, or like what can be solutions can actually provide us this solution in the field of agriculture. So that is where we actually came up with some of the robotic solutions. So when we actually designed our robotic solutions, so the major problem was ki when the crop is getting grown, when it is a full grown tree, so that time the foliage of that particular tree is very thick. So in that particular condition, you can actually spray the fertilizer over the top, but there was a very different efficacy which was designed in terms of spraying it from the beneath side. So for this particular system, we actually designed a combination of our robotic platform Rhino along with a spraying mechanism which we have designed. So this spray mechanism actually works as a conventional spray system which you use right now in the field. It's autonomous. You don't have to actually operate it. It's a similar mechanism where you can actually replace a conventional tractor and you can use this solution. So it has been regularly designed to actually get utilized into the solution, as well as it has a different spray mechanism where you can, when you are actually operating this particular system, you can actually spray on both the sides for up to 20 feet. So this particular system has been designed into an area where like you can actually cover almost 150 kilometers in a single day. And we are soon to launch a service-based system for it called Drone Seva, where you can just uh, book the drones, the robot saver or drone saver from the platform, and then eventually you can actually push it forward in terms of providing the main scenarios. So the main course of work where you actually are applying to the system is ki where when you are actually trading tractors or you are actually renting tractors of these machines, you can actually have this machine which can actually help you in terms of two different areas where you can actually do monitoring and logistics. Along with it, it has a capability that you can actually utilize it as a spraying platform. So this particular system has already been in launch, where we are actually trying to launch this service on 26, 27, 28 in three major cities, which is in Bangalore, in Noida, as well as in Dehradun. So we are actually starting from three different cities where we are trying to upreach with this particular service. And furthermore, we have a plan to actually offload at least 500 of these units by the end of this year to all different places where like the farmers can come together and can actually have a support in terms of using these particular systems. So as a part of it, this has been the second model which we have already designed for the logistics and the spray category. So these two different chassis mechanisms can be actually utilized for different operations where you require working on a very rough terrain, or where you actually want to actually work on two areas like orchards where you have a fully grown tree and you have a fully grown mechanism which can be actually utilized. So talking about to the actual capabilities for us, so we have been the guys who have been actually designing three of the major areas, which is into the electronics, the frames, and the end-to-end stack integration. So when we talk about end-to-end stack integration, it is majorly about the products which we are actually developing in terms of how you can encapsulate all the different technologies and you can actually push it forward as a overall ecosystem. So currently, this has been the actual media and newsroom where we have already provided solutions to the fullest. We have been one of the guys who have been actually working with the government onto a fully safe side, where we have been a company from IIT Roorkee which actually helps us to to facilitate all the different agricultural needs which we require with the product. And along with it, we have been focused about in terms of expanding the vision. So for Dtown Robotics, we have been actually looking upon to active people who are right now ready to give back to the agricultural society from which the actual crop belong. And what we have seen is like, yes, these technologies has been designed to be into working onto a very rough format, but eventually like there has to be a need of solution where we can actually push the technologies forward in terms of like providing it into some of the economic factors where we can actually work on two different models in either in outright purchase to the farmer producer organizations or the people who want to actually use it at its fullest, or again we can actually put all the way forward where we can actually provide it as a service to people where they can actually rent this particular machine for us day or two. They can actually complete their operations and then eventually everything can be actually located over it. The best and the beauty part which we have actually designed over the system is like it can be actually operated over 5G mechanisms. So it actually provides you a just that like yes, this particular system has a scalability that even if you are actually sitting in Delhi with your experts, you can actually guide a vehicle in Bangalore, which can actually work autonomously and can actually provide you with the optimum solution. So this has been the profile for Dtown Robotics where we have been actually working. So now moving to the agricultural side where like it has been the second phase of area where like these systems can be actually operated and can be utilized. So I would move to the second slide and presentation where we can actually see how these systems are actually operating over the overall curriculum. So this has been the solution stack which we right now provide. So being as a agricultural drone or agricultural robot manufacturer, what actually differentiates us is these four solutions which we actually provide with the product. So we provide the solution to the customer in terms of the UGV solutions. We provide them with the control stations with 4G, 5G connectivity. We provide them with all the different computing which they require in terms of artificial intelligence. And eventually we provide, as a part of the B2B campaign, we actually provide them with a local storage solution where all their crucial data can be actually captured and can be trained in terms of providing a more optimal solution, whether this solution is getting deployed into any of the states or any of the areas work around. So for us, the actual aerial capabilities where we work in terms of drones is in terms of autonomous navigation and path planning. We work on object detections and recognitions. We work on data analysis and predictive insights, and then we work on swarm intelligence. So all these systems have a different role in terms of agriculture, where these systems can be actually deployed and can actually provide you an efficacy of up to 30% whenever you are actually operating. So similar to it, we have some of the major capabilities in the UGV side, also in the robot side, where we actually provide with the autonomous navigation and terrain adaptations. We provide the obstacle detection and so Nuno, which we have already discussed, has been one of the solutions which we right now push for crop surveying, crop surveillance, and crop statistics, where these has been one of the areas where we have operated. So we did it for crop surveillance and monitoring for one of the areas where like you can actually design this particular model for anything. So let's say you have cattle, you need to manage your cattle or you need to manage any of your agricultural assets. So we can actually train that data, which can be combined with the drone and the robot, and can actually provide you with an optimum solution. So here we are just displaying it for the surveillance and monitoring in the crowd management purposes. But this crowd management can be converted to cattle management, and the surveillance and monitoring can be actually converted to crop surveillance and monitoring, where it can be actually worked as an overall security solution. In terms of agriculture sector, we have like three different versions where we work. We work on crop health monitoring using the Viri algorithm. So when we actually use the visible atmospheric gradation index algorithm, we actually give you an approximate idea on what is the health of the crop and how you can actually more efficiently work it to the use of agro UAV in terms of spraying the different chemicals and the nutrients which are required by the crop and the soil. Remember when we actually worked starting further on the agricultural side, there was one motto which was with us, which was like we would like to work for soil majorly rather than working on the crop side. So eventually, if you see how Israel is growing in terms of agricultural technologies and agricultural adaptations, is like they actually worry about the soil because that is something which will be a recurring task for you in the given point of time and in the upcoming years forward. So that is something which we have been actually focusing upon to actually make the soil so optimum that it can actually yield you with more than 4 to 5 different crops in a year, and that too with that particular efficacy which you are actually trying to provide for maximum up to 70% of the overall crop which you are actually growing over the soil. The second application where we have been actually focused in terms of fertilizer applications, which we actually do through agricultural UAV and agro DAC UGV, where your 1 acre of spray can be actually covered in less than 10 minutes. And you can actually use our different AI and precise algorithms to actually identify what are the areas where the crop source is required, and wherever it is not required, it will not be spraying that particular area in terms of skipping it and actually providing an overall efficacy over the whole system. In terms of the environmental monitoring as well as the areas where you want to actually do the survey, so we have DTR Monal and DTR Tough, where we can actually equip with the different sensors, where you can actually have IR sensors, cameras, and everything, which you can operate to a different scale. We can actually use it for wildlife conservation and stock management, along with the forest fire detections and alarms. Moving to Rhino has been something which has been actually designed in terms of the stack where you can actually imbibe everything and can cover everything forward. So we actually provide everything in a single umbrella called DTR ecosystem, where we actually provide you with the DTR drones and robotic hardware. We provide you with the DTR software and its applications, along with the DTR AI management tool, where you can actually provide your pictures. You can actually provide, let's say, for example, you want to actually see what is the overall health of your maize which you are actually growing there. So you just need to provide us with the photos which you can take from your phone itself. We can actually train our data into it. And once you then do it through aerial surveys or through ground surveys, then the data will be automatically connected, and then eventually you will get the feedback result onto the crop side on how the crop is actually working right now. So this has been an example of the interface which we have designed for potholes right now. But this system can particularly be trained for any of the ecosystem which we want to do it, in terms of any of the crop which you want to do it, or even the actual soil health parameters where we want to actually train it in terms of getting the entire results. So our all of our products has been actually been showcased into the website. So let me take you to the website also, where you can actually get the data on how to see every individual product and how to actually use it. So I will just stop my stream, and I will just share my website also, so that you can have an idea where you can go and you can actually have the features on all the different products which we have right now. So I'm just sharing my screen with the website, where you can actually see uh, what all different features which we have right now. So I think my website is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible. Please
Yeah,
proceed.
yeah. So this has been the website for Dtown Robotics, where we have been actually working on two or three different parameters. So here, if you go to UAV, you can find Agro UAV. So Agro UAV has been one of the products which we have designed for agricultural spraying, where it has all the different benefits. In order to have any of the inquiries for this particular product, you can actually fill this form, where you will get the all the specifications for this particular product, and eventually then you can also get an inquiry from our side. What I can assure is this is India's low cost and the most economic product which is there into the market. And with this, as compared to the overall ecosystem which is there into the market, we are providing an extended warranty of 2 years for all the people who are trying to get it, especially the farmers, the Kisan Bhais, which are working relentlessly into the crop and who wants an optimum solution for their particular crops. So similar to it, we have Rhino, which has been the platform in which we have actually designed our agriculture spraying platform. For any of the demos, we are actually coming to Bangalore on 2nd of October or 3rd of October, where you can actually see the products in action, where like we are actually trying to replicate our agricultural spraying mechanisms as well as the agricultural spraying drones all together. So you can also get the data of Rhino also, and all these products has been patented in India. We have all the different rights in order to actually make these systems here, along with all the different modifications we want to do with it. And along with it, we have Nuno, which is the 4K product, which you can actually use for any of the different systems, including crop survey, crop management, and crop security. It has been also been one of the systems which has been the in the low cost of the market, where we actually provide you with a 2 years extended warranty, along with all the different maintenance and spares along like available with the product. Rest assured, with every product which you buy from Dtown Robotics, you can actually buy the similar products and the accessories and the spare parts for up to the next 5 years. That is what we actually commit. So in terms of the robotic solutions, we also work on to design and development of customized robotic solutions. If you require in terms of you have any of the ideas you want to actually implement it with our robotic solutions, we are happy with it. And like if any in any case you have a very specific use case for it and a good market value where you can actually have a substantial supply chain, we can actually help you with the design and development of an overall project as a joint collaboration, where you can push that particular product forward in terms of providing an efficient, like increasing the efficiencies in terms of agriculture. So this has been the major use case for us in terms of D-Town. In terms of the case studies, we have been already been working way forward in terms of like providing solutions in terms of agricultural drones and everything. Um, so this has been the career guidance which we right now provide, where you can actually get in touch with us And if you are like from the northern side, and if you're available anytime available in Delhi, you can actually physically visit us into our factory at Noida itself, or you can actually connect with us online anytime whenever you require. As a part of Chief Technology Officer, I commit, like, yes, we have been one of the companies who have been working on to the next gen technologies, which which are the next gen revolutions in terms of the agricultural fields and how we can actually implicate the fields. So there was a very big slogan which was coined, which is called "No farmer, no food," and that is how, like, it can be coined for there is no food, no life. So, like, it all depends on what we eat and how the quality of that thing can be actually initialized to the fullest. Thank you so much for your time, and we are open for questions now.
Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful presentation. I will take up the
Thank you
questions
so
from the
much.
participants now. The first
Yeah.
question is, do you offer any customized robotic solutions for specific industry needs?
Absolutely. So you can actually put your queries into the website itself, and within 48 hours, you will get an inquiry on what the customized solution you require over the product. Being a manufacturer, it is our opportunity to actually showcase with you all the different qualities which we have right now in terms of how we can design and revolutionize the different products. And if you are available in Noida anytime, you are free and you are wholeheartedly invited to our facility to actually see all the robotics and the drone applications in action. So we generally have these type of conferences and everything which we do into our office itself, where the customers can come and can have a deep down inquiry in terms of how the products they want to do and what all customizations they require with the product.
Okay. What is the range of autonomous vehicles or robotic systems you provide for agriculture industry?
So, like, we work on two different domains where we provide a water capacity of 150 liters with a range of 150 kilometers. So you can actually coin it as 150, which is AGR 150. So AGR 150 stands for agricultural robot, which works for 150 kilometers and 150 kgs of payload, which is like
Okay.
the spraying tank. So you can actually carry at least 150 liters of water from one place to another. And once that water is over, you can just easily dive it down through your remote control, and then you can refill it and start it from the position from where you want to start.
Okay. What are
Yes.
your key markets, both domestic and international?
So currently we have been focused into the domestic market majorly. But yes, we are very soon launching our products in two different countries, which is in Mexico and in Bahrain.
Okay. What challenges do you face in Indian robotic markets, sir, particularly in terms of manufacturing and adoption?
So yes, there has been some of the challenges because, like, if you see and if you compare our products to China, so the Chinese market has been heavily flooded by funds from the Chinese government itself. In India, there have been funds, but that, I think, like, has not been adequate in terms of revolutionizing an industry in the robotics category specifically, where the actual requirement of capex for research and development has been very heavy. So I think, yes, with the new norms and the new characters which are coming, so there has to be some relaxation which will be coming in the next upcoming years, specifically in the field of agriculture majorly, where we will be actually ready to actually deploy our solutions to the fullest.
Okay. What are the regulatory hurdles for deploying autonomous vehicle in agriculture?
So the majority of the hurdles is, like, you need to have a sound knowledge and a sound background in terms of understanding how the agricultural domain and the application works. So agriculture has become one of the very sensitive areas where you're actually just dealing with the crop cycle just by spraying it in it. So you can actually see it, like, if you actually sprinkle a pinch of salt in a glass of water, it can actually change the taste of water. So it is like something like that. Like, if you are spraying anything to crop, you should be ensured you have a sound understanding and a backing of some agricultural institutions as well as some of the agricultural scientists who can actually help you to guide an optimum spray, which you can actually guide for every different crop. So it is not just like that, like you just get the drone with you or the robot with you and just start spraying for the next day. You need to actually work on an overall solution where we can actually guide you with all the different sprays, their efficacy, their dosage on how to actually do it onto a given crop and a given size. So that needs to be defined and designed accurately so as to actually provide the farmers with the benefit on how to actually deploy these solutions. And second is, like, you need to actually work upon to rugged systems when you actually do on agriculture, because in India there has been only two grounds where you can actually test your systems ruggedly, that is into defense or into agriculture.
Okay. I'll move to the next question, sir. What is the biggest challenge you face in India robotic industry?
Yeah.
Sir?
So, the biggest challenge which we face in India robotics industry is, like, the
How are governments supporting the adoption of autonomous vehicle in farming through subsidies or policies?
So like that's why like right now there has been no subsidy which has been coined to it. However, you can actually coin this particular technology with the subsidies which you are getting on electric vehicles. Along with it, that's why like we are planning to have nothing to the farmer side. जहाँ पर like they have a zero sort of investment which they want to do. They just needs to pay per usage, and that is how the service model will be working into it very soon.
Okay. Sir, can you share any case studies or success stories where your robotics have significantly impacted a client's business?
So what I can do is like you can connect me over like you can mail me at manas at the rate Dtown robotics sorry manas dtr at the rate dtownrobotics.com, or you can just send your query to dtownrobotics.com, and you will get a prompt reply along with the case studies which we have already done for it.
Okay. Are you
Yeah.
are you collaborating with any universities or research institutes for
So
robotic
we have been
development, sir?
yeah, so we have been open for it. So as a part of the CSR and the social responsibility for education, we initially started almost 30 different drone karyashalas or drone lab across India last year. And this year we have been very open for agricultural companies who want to actually revolutionize these fields in terms of agricultural interventions. What I can assure is like it has been a very sole Indian technology which we have designed right now. We have been looking for active partners who can actually expand this technology to a very big scale, where I can actually approximate a usage of these particular systems at a scale of 1,000 to 1,500 pieces in the next 1 year, into the fields where all the systems are just getting transported to it and just getting replaced by these systems, where the kisan now don't have to actually go to the fields and do those dangerous sprays. These relentless and these repetitive works can be actually designed by these robotics and drone vehicles. And eventually kisan should work on terms of enhancing their technologies and in terms of planning how to actually grow their crop more efficiently into their fields.
Okay. How do your
Yeah.
robots help address labor shortage or improve worker safety in industries such as manufacturing and agriculture?
Absolutely. So we have been actually working into that domain where we are trying to actually eliminate farmers from those situations. So I will tell you a very small case study which we actually observed when we did the anti-locust operations. So that time the actual chemical which was getting sprayed is called lambda, and that has been one of the chemical which has been actively used in the agriculture department and the agricultural practices also to kill the crops. So what we actually found out was that that particular crop, that particular solution has a poison ratio of almost 95%, which is very dangerous to actually work into that particular environment in the presence of ammonia. So what I actually understood from that point is that yes, it has been 100% requirement for anybody to actually deviate from the crops and just have a safe place from where they can actually operate their systems to do spraying, because spraying has been something which has been very native in India from a very from almost from last past 70-75 years. We have been actually traditionally forming a similar format of having knapsack sprayers, and these like people are getting into the field spraying these systems from their hands. I think that needs to be reduced and that needs to be re-elected in terms of providing an optimum solution, and that is where like yes, the safety and the prominent solution into this industry actually occurs.
Okay. Can you tell us about yourself, sir? What made you take an interest in this particular field?
Pardon?
Can you tell us about yourself, sir? What made you take an interest in this particular field?
Okay, so we have been into the industry from last 12 years as hobbyists, and eventually from 2018 we have been into the industry where we have been designing these systems. For me, my background has been into the robotics and ecosystem. I am an 11 of bits Pilan. We have been a startup which has been actually working from last 5 to 6 years, majorly bootstrap, and eventually we were able to convert our dreams into reality by pushing upon our robotics and drone solutions into the market. Our active customers right now include some of the parts in Ministry of Agriculture, as well as majority of the part has been included in law enforcement and public safety, where we actually cater only like we only cater the police and the defense departments. Like for us, robotics has been something which has started from a hobby, and eventually we found out solutions which can be rigid and can be rugged itself to withstand with the current environments in India, and to actually provide the optimum solutions.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We have now completed the round of questions on behalf of agricultureinformation.com. We like to thank Mr. Manas Upadhyay for the talk and for answering the questions. This meeting will now be closed.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, sir.